Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to say a few words about ABEP, about our history. But first of all, I'd like to thank our host, the Wolfson College. Certainly will be very comfortable in their fantastic facilities. Thank you, Professor Lee. Also, I want to acknowledge the presence of the Professor Tim Power. He's one of the most important Brazilians in the world, and kind of honors this meeting with his presence. The presence of the Councillor, Helena Gasparian, representing the Embassy of Brazil in the UK, is an illustration of how important science and education are to the Brazilian government. Finally, thank you very much, Felipe Correia and Julian Hunt, and everyone else from the University of Oxford Brazilian Society, and of course my colleagues at ABEP. I wish I always had the opportunity to be part of such a brilliant team. It was great. My Brazilian fellows, you are very welcome, and it's a pleasure to share this important moment with you. This year we celebrate 30 years of the foundation of ABEP. 3 decades, a lot. Maybe it's not too much in Oxford, in the UK, but in Brazil, 3 decades. It's such an important moment to celebrate. Our origin comes from a letter written by a group of students in 1980, supporting the re-establishment of democracy in Brazil. The group realized that they could achieve much more if they kept working together. So they organized a general meeting to create the association and elect the first board of directors, which at the same time was led, by Eduardo de Azevedo Costa, who was the first president of ABEP. And Eduardo is not here, but my best wishes for you and for everybody who in these 3 decades has helped to establish and promote the name of our association. Well, since then, a lot more has been achieved. Just to mention a few remarkable moments, in 1981, ABEP sent a manifest to the Ministry of Justice condemning the conviction of Luiz Marcelo Lula da Silva, during that time just a syndicalist, by the military court of the state of São Paulo. In 1987, when inflation in Brazil was a common headline, they fought for the payment of scholarships in pounds, at a time that the inflation was around 40% per month. Maybe the people don't remember, but and peaked in 80% a couple of months later. In 1989, a document was sent to the Tribunal of Justice claiming for justice in the trial of the assassins of the environmentalist Chico Mendes. In 1997, a document was sent to the President Cardoso against the cut in the education budget. Well, sounds very familiar these days. One of the measures was the reduction of the amount given for the scholarships and investment in education abroad. A decision that was revoked after protests, like the one that happened during a conference given by the First Lady, the sociologist Ruth Cardoso. The researchers attended the meeting with a badge, no science, no future. In 2004, ABEP organized a task force to contribute to the reform of higher education system in Brazil through an analysis of the problem and then writing a proposal which was sent to the government. More recently, one of our main battles has been the recognition of British diplomas in Brazil. This issue that has no plausible reason to still be present, since the government itself grants scholarships to study in the British universities. So there's no point. Among the next challenges are the design and foundation of an European network of Brazilian students and researchers. In 2011, we'll try to do that, and you certainly have news about it. In parallel, ABEP promoted meetings with the Ministries of Education, Science and Technology, senators, and the presidents of CNPq and CAPES, the two main sources of federal government scholarships. Furthermore, it has organized debates, parties, exhibitions, cine clubs, survival guide, and other types of services for new students, newsletters, seminars, and obviously congresses. This one is the third one. So, as you can see, since the very first beginning, the motto, the philosophy of the association has been based on initiative, participation, contribution, and construction. And that's what ABEP is all about. Although on the surface it seems to be only representing the students or defending better scholarships to the researchers, the result is the improvement of the quality of education and research in the country. And this is not just a collateral, it's a constitutional part of the association to participate in the creation of a better country. And it seems that after 30 years, we really do have a better country. The pressure of civil society was fundamental to the transition process that culminated with the Constitution of 1988 and the democratic presidential elections of 1989. It was the first of 6 elections in a row, and we are now on our fourth president, Dilma Rousseff, elected democratically. It's the longest period under democracy of our history. Also, for the first time, we'll have a woman leading the country, which is great. Well, 5 years ago, I was chatting with some friends, and we agreed that Brazil was fashionable. Havaianas had invaded the summer. Green and yellow were everywhere. But we weren't a real player like India and China. However, nowadays, Brazil has become at least an important voice. Quoting Professor Power, the country has assumed a new role in the global diplomatic arena as a soft power. It seems that our famous cordiality has produced its best fruits. Also, this is the first time we're watching economic growth, political participation, and social inclusion all at the same time. Well, indeed, the times, they are changing. Dear colleagues, we are a group of very privileged people. We're among those 5% of Brazilians who have access to all the benefits of a real citizenship. We appropriate almost half of the wealth of the country, and almost all the opportunities available. We are able to choose how we want to live our lives, while the rest of the population isn't. So we have the responsibility of doing our best. This is our challenge, you know. In everything we do, whatever we do, we have this responsibility of doing our best. And of course, since ABEP is made of ourselves, we also have this responsibility, the institution have the responsibility of building a new and better world. And we'll do it. Thank you very much.